A lot of people have been asking me to watch a certain video by Sarcastic Chorus, the not so amazing Digital Circus. God damn, that like-dislike ratio is not very good. I guess that's what happens when you shit on something popular. So I like the Sarcastic Chorus. I don't know how our relationship when it comes to YouTube videos is me just calling him a hater for things, but I really like the guy, and you should check him out. He's a good YouTuber. I like his reviews. And he's not afraid to say negative stuff about things he likes, and I don't think he just hates to be a contrarian. It just ends up that way sometimes. So I am jumping into it as someone that is on top of this Digital Circus train and someone that likes it a lot. I like Digital Circus. I like it a lot. I know it was just a pilot episode, but I like it a lot. So we're gonna be jumping right into the Sarcastic Chorus's not so amazing Digital Circus. And let's see what we got, baby.
So I didn't care for Digital Circus.
Move this man!
Yeah! Kill him! Kill him! You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna learn from my favorite YouTuber, Sister Sniper Wolf. I'm just gonna go to Sarcastic Chorus and I'm gonna dox him. YouTube, that was a joke. That was not a threat. Do not demonetize me, okay? Listen, don't. That was a joke. It was a joke. That was a joke. It was a joke. But anyway, I am probably the only person out there in the world that loves hearing dissenting opinions. Whenever I actually have an opinion on something, the first thing I do is go watch someone's opinion that doesn't agree with me. I literally do that before even getting my cock stroked by people that do agree with me. So let's just jump right into it, baby.
Yeah. Have fun roasting me in the comments. I'm sure I deserve it. But
comments seem pretty reasonable. I mean, the likes, dislikes don't, but the comments seem reasonable. That's something. That's something. Gooseworks replied. He's didn't she create Circus? Wasn't sure what to expect going into this. I really appreciate how fair you were. I understand the criticism. I will hook you someday. Let's go. Base. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Fifsy Pop. Take a fucking page out of Gooseworks' book. This is how you respond to criticism. W Gooseworks. Let's see what we got here.
But as the lone hater island in a sea of praise,
I disagree. I think a lot of people are actually hating on it because it's popular. This is one of those shows that got so popular so quickly that people are just hating and shitting on it for the sake of hating it. I don't think that's what Sarcastic Horse is doing, let me just be clear. But so many people are just hating on this because it's popular. I got canceled for it. for like seeing Zooble and being like, oh my god, Zooble. Like, oh.
Sure I deserve it.
Dude.
Yeah. Have fun.
Dude, I
Move this man!
Yeah.
I saw this character and I was like, damn, I don't know how they're gonna make Rule 34 out of this character, but they're gonna find a way. And I got canceled on Twitter for it. Canceled. People be like, oh my god, Nux is such a porn addict. And like, you think just because that's true, I'm gonna get offended?
Island in a sea of praise. I'm just gonna say my piece and move
All right,
on.
let's do it.
If
I'm ready.
you like this show, good for you.
I like it.
Like, I'm genuinely happy people
I
are
think it might be one of the best pilots I've seen in a long time.
enjoying this thing. I hope we get more of it, and it can probably win me over later. But for a litany of petty reasons, this pilot just wasn't it for me. As all of its attempts to be funny are kind of just and all of its attempts.
I think I know what he's talking about. God damn it. I think I know what he's talking about, but I am going to be controversial and say that while I agree that some of the things that I think were supposed to be funny didn't make me laugh that hard, I would argue that all of the funny moments were meant to terrify you. Were meant to make you like, haha, on the outside because, oh, that's kind of funny, but then realize that, oh, but they're in an infinite void. I don't think the comedy was actually supposed to make you laugh as much as it's supposed to act as some sort of buffer to kind of psych you for the aesthetic, right? The aesthetic of this story is it's this hilarious, funky world, but it's actually terrifying on the inside of people going mad. I love that back and forth. So while I do agree that some of the comedy wasn't funny, this is a comedy horror. Every joke that's trying to make me laugh just reminds me that, oh, this is a joke that they're telling in an existential hellscape. I don't know.
Attempts to show off what an unsettling existential nightmare this place is.
Okay, we're on the... okay.
Just come off sounding the same to me.
And into the cellar you go.
Ooh.
Ooh, nightmare fuel.
Okay, I didn't. All right, dude. Okay.
Before we get into the things people will beat my ass about, I will give this show its flowers first. Starting with the voice cast. Everyone in
Voice cast so good, bro. So good. Every character.
this show is doing a fan-fucking-tastic job here. Lizzie Freeman is adorable as Pomni.
Great. She voice acts Jotaro's mother from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Actually insane.
Capturing that sense of panic and denial that just drips out of every pore of this character.
It's also, the show is so memeable, it's crazy.
They are a fantastic lead. And Michael Kovac is also here, who
Yeah.
continues to be the good luck charm and MVP of YouTube pilots. Though honestly, he is so talented, I'm almost a little bit mad whenever he shows up in one of these things.
Dude, he is so talented. I love that voice.
As he feels long overdue to have a big break in some major animated property versus just being the king of indies. But if he's having fun and being well paid, let him do him.
Gotcha.
Oh. Sean Chiplock as Kinger was also a standout. Jax is cool and sassy and all, but Sean's delivery as Kinger is what actually slayed me in this episode. And I'd be remiss.
Yeah, Kinger's... Dude, what? The fact that this is a pilot, like it's a one-episode pilot, and every single character really grabbed me, like that's impressive. That is so impressive.
Yes, if I didn't bring up
Also, Jax is my spirit animal and my favorite long bunny of all time. Jax is, to me, is what Sonichu is to Chris Chan. Okay, maybe not. That was a little much.
Alex Rockin as Spamton. Oh, sorry, I forgot. We're calling him Kane here, as this is most definitely not Spamton.
I see the Spamton reference, not gonna lie.
G. Spamton.
Hey, it's me, Spamton, G. Spamton.
You parasite!
Honestly, though, Alex is perfect casting for this type of character. I've been a
Jax Vor is already a thing. Chat, why did you feel like I needed to see this? Now Twitter's gonna cancel me! Dude, I love when Twitter canceled me for my Circus video. It was so funny. I made a Circus video. Twitter was so upset. I don't know. I guess they hate me, I guess. Whatever makes them happy.
fan of his work for a while now, so it's actually really cool to see him here. Amanda and Ashley also kill it here, and we of course can round out the cast with an animation staple of the show's creator doing a funny voice.
But what are they?
I'm glad you asked, Bubble. They're
And
small.
what do
I love random creator cameos.
they do?
They
How do they?
Everyone here is earning their full paycheck on this one.
Lloyd Queen, let's go! Easily the sexiest character in the show.
Not a bad line read in the room. So when the comedy doesn't land, you know it's just the writing. But another
Oh god, oh shit, man really went for the jugular on that one.
positives, this show looks amazing.
I love how in my review of this show, because I made a separate review aside from the reaction, I mentioned specifically that everyone's going to be talking about how the voicing is great and the sound design is great and the animation is great. Because it just fucking is. I love that this is like the quality of YouTube indie animations that are coming out right now.
Kevin Temmer's animation style is on full display here, and I love all the different ways the team play around with the appearance of the characters. From Pibby, I mean Pomni's eyes fizzing out to sketchy squiggles, Jax having this smug smile on his face even when things are
God, he's
really
so
getting
hot.
out of hand. The character animation on everyone is top notch. You could watch this show silent and still basically understand who these characters are and what's going on
Dude,
for most
the
of it.
facial expressions are so golden. Every single facial expression.
I also really enjoy how the show handles the glitching of its characters, as it really reminds you of a computer breaking down while it's trying to run a video game,
Yeah, it just
with
looks great.
assets not doing what they're supposed to, glitching out, stuttering, stopping, sometimes just flat out disappearing. It fully sells that this is a digital world on some low-res computer somewhere, and it
This
is
is just existential Digimon.
struggling, but it's able to do so without ever looking messy or too ugly, which is a skill. On a technical level, I love almost everything that this pilot is doing. Some of the stuff might be the first obvious choice, but that doesn't mean it's not good, just a little predictable. So that really just brings up my biggest issue, which is anything that I don't really care for is mostly a mix of personal preference and obvious bias.
Yeah. Look, I don't think anyone should feel bad for disliking the show. I just liked it. I really hate that people have been hating on this man. Why are people hating on my boy Sarcastic Chorus? He's allowed to be a hater in peace, okay?
Everyone who worked on this is on their A game, so I'm sure I'm the problem. But I truly
I love how he's like prefacing it that way. Oh no.
You do love the subtle details of this pilot. Arguably, it's in those details I think that it shines the most, more so than the bigger beats. Like how the show begins on a Nintendo 64 style game screen with square ratio and all, only for us to go into the computer leading to the screen to expand, while the obvious pixels get replaced with the show's actual art style.
It's awesome.
It's a great way to show us actually entering the digital world, as if this shitty low res is what we could see if we were on the outside, with a roly-poly-oly style theme song getting carefully messed with to show us that this song is both diegetic, happening in the story, and there is something
true. That's a good point. You're making a good point.
Serious.
Dude, I love this man's reviews, even though I think he's wrong and I think the Digital Circus is awesome.
Off here. From then needing a standee for a missing member to the glitch and complete repetition of this line. They could have just kept going or used the stuff cycling to get the same idea across, but cutting the same footage each time and being so obvious about it, it adds to the glitchy nature of the world.
Yeah.
How people are trapped here and how everyone is edging madness as they aren't dealing with it well.
I like that point also. For me, the thing that the writing did for me that I was the most impressed about, aside from the obvious, it's showing off the crazy shenanigans of this world while also being an existential nightmare. But the thing that I liked so much about the writing of the show is the way every character is written, that every single one of these characters is a one bad day from delirium, you know? Like, the way every single one of them is living through the guise of a coping mechanism, coping being in a world where nothing matters. I really, really love that is one of the major themes in this show. Personally, I think that is the coolest part of the writing in general. Like, every single one of these characters, either it's Kingder's depression or it's freaking Jax's cynicism. Like, these characters are all coping so hard, living day to day, not knowing what the next day holds and not understanding a purpose in their existence. Like, with a crushing futility of existence on their shoulders, they march from day to day. I think that was definitely where the writing shone the most. That every single one of these characters is a completely comprehensive way to understand characters just one bad day away from insanity.
One choice speaks volumes, and the little things are what I really appreciate about this thing. You can tell a lot of thought went into the presentation on taking this kids show type world and making it feel just like it's scary. It's trying to be comforting, and that just makes it even more off-putting. And also has to be mentioned, the characterization is also very good. I've seen versions of these characters before. However, I enjoy all of them.
Me too!
I love how you can
especially Zubul, who probably has some Rule 34. Take that one, Twitter.
just tell everyone's desperately trying not to go insane.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And Pomni is, she's still new in this world. We don't know exactly how she'll, deal with it, but she's gonna be the little scared person that doesn't know how to accept it. And Zubul is freaking cool, because Zubul Zubul has like a short temper, and she's, trying to be the optimist, It's just every single one of them just tackles this insanity in a different way, and it's so dope.
With everyone using a different coping mechanism for the existential nightmare that they found themselves in. Jax is a prick who's given up on getting out and
He's so real, bro. He's so real for being a prick like that. He's so based and true. Every time I stream on Twitch, I feel like I'm living in this fucking digital circus.
pretends not to care, with his only real joy in the world being messing with his friends. As in this digital nightmare, that is the only real interaction and response he can get out of anything anymore. Meanwhile, Zubul is just depressed and apathetic. Kinger is a paranoid, nervous wreck who somehow is still here. Gangle is a crybaby who can barely function. Ragatha is trying to be optimistic and normal, but is really kind of going through the motions too, with her starting to crack under the slightest amount of self-reflection, being the most okay with doing Kane's games, with Kane himself also not being okay, as he's drowning his guests in activities to try and keep them stimulated and distracted.
That's the beauty of Kane. Emo, in my opinion. That's the beauty of Kane. He acts like such a wild card. You truly do not know exactly what's going in through Kane's head. He's so interesting. He's by far the most interesting character in this show. And also, just, I love the symbolism. You know, Cain from the Bible killed his brother. But the fact that this person could literally be a hero trying to save humanity at the same time as someone who's literally putting on this crazy show just for the upper class or whatever. The fact that he could literally be both right now, and he's giving them challenges. The challenges are stimulating them. Are the challenges just there to entertain people for the show he's putting on? Or are these challenges to keep them from going completely insane in this digital hellscape? Like, you could see it both ways, and there's probably truth to both of them. You know exactly what's going through Kane's head. It's his eyes. Thanks, Dr. Catspaw in chat. You are hilarious.
Also that they don't spiral and go mad like so many of them have before. We don't know if he's the full villain yet, but for the moment, it feels like he's just as trapped here as with everyone else, with him forcing positivity rather than risk people processing what's happened to them. Nobody here is doing well, and I love that.
Yay!
Okay, all set? Let's
Mental health problems! Let's go! So relatable, so relatable.
get to my issues. And let's start with a big one that makes the most sense before I steadily get more and more pedantic. This show has been described as I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream with the aesthetic of an I Spy book. Two books that I actually love, and I can see myself adoring this show. But from just the pilot, I was left thinking that it is just okay. It's a great
Really? I thought it was so good, man. Oh, man. Dude, no. Why would you say something like that?
concept with all right execution and a lot of great polish, with the biggest source
Really? Really? I thought it was so amazing. Like, I thought it was so amazing.
of discontent for me being how I never really buy into like the psychological horror of just being here.
Bro, you're a YouTuber. How do you not buy into that? Dude, your whole life, you have a whole separate life on the internet as Sarcastic Horus, aside from your real life as Steven Jonesburg. Okay, I don't know if that, if that's your actual real name, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. But, like, what I'm trying to say is, dude, I find this extra relatable because I'm a YouTuber. I feel like I'm living a weird digital circus life online at the same time as just living my mundane normal life when I'm just doing regular shit.
What did any of that mean?
Like it's there. It's trying. My God, is it trying. But the phrase that comes to mind when I'm trying to describe these moments, for me, is performative existentialism. This show is great at planting little things to unsettle you, but every time it goes for the big swing, it always feels like a bit.
We stay right here, where I can keep my hundreds of all-seeing eyes on you.
I know this is
That was obviously played up for a joke, man. What? No. Come on, man. That wasn't meant to, that's not to be taken too seriously.
a dark comedy, but every time it tries something like this, the vibe it gives off is... Ooh, implications. Ooh, liminal horror. Like, I feel like I'm
Really?
laughing at it rather than with it here.
I don't know. I feel like those scenes aren't meant to be, you're not meant to laugh for scenes like that. It is, see, the thing that I like about this show is that you're right, it is all performative. Like, you say performative existentialism like it's a bad thing, but I feel like the fact that this is built as a digital circus, like it is a performance where the positive aspects of this world are a performance just as much as the spooky ones. I think Kane is an entertainer right now. So when you have like, now I have my hundreds of eyes on you, right? Man's an entertainer. He's making Mr. Beast videos. Like the way that I like to describe something like this is, imagine the inner workings of a Mr. Beast video, where Kane is Mr. Beast, and these guys, all the other characters, they're the 500 people that are holding on to the Lamborghini, that whoever lets go of the Lamborghini first, nothing happens, and they just start another video, right? That's kind of the impression that it gives me. It's like this endless back rooms of just another day, another Mr. Beast challenge, where if you win, nothing changes, and the next day you're gonna have another Mr. Beast challenge. It's like, imagine living a life like that. So, yes, Mr. Beast is gonna be performative, and he's gonna be like, I just strapped a nuclear bomb to 16 pigeons! Right? And that's how he's gonna start That's how he's gonna start his next video. You know? You know, like something like that. And obviously it's gonna be performative. Like that's his shtick. I don't see it as a performative existentialism as much as that is this guy's persona in this really scary circus. I think the concept of a Mr. Beast-like character in this world makes the world so much scarier and takes reality it twists reality in a way that really nothing seems real. Like there seems to be like a futility in everything you're doing here.
The show wants to press upon us so badly what a horrific existence it would be to be trapped in this world. But for me, I'm kind of just sitting here thinking about how unserious this feels. As yeah, it's a terrible situation. I kind of figured that out in the first 3 minutes. Nobody's handling it well here, but between the moments of horror that are beat for beat the exact moment you'd expect, slow zooms in as their mind breaks from the realization only to pull back with a joke, not to mention a hallway exit scene that feels like it is on its knees praying, begging, desperately asking for you to ask questions about what's going on. What's that computer mean? What's CNA?
I don't know. Maybe CNA is Cain and Abel. Sorry, I don't know. I just thought that was really a funny and promising thing to say at that moment.
The spoiler! What the fuck is in the cellar? It takes me out. I don't hate it, but my honest takeaway is, oh, look how hard it's trying. Which is just...
I don't know, but I feel like the reason I know what you're talking about, because whenever I'll see something that does feel like it's trying too hard, it does rub me the wrong way and makes me feel like it's trying too hard. For something like this, where it is set in a circus, I feel like it fits really well. I feel like the extra performative nature of it definitely jives with the whole style of what's going on. The reason why this is existential is because everything just seems normal, but it's completely paired with equally lightweight performative horror. Like, if they would have really made those scenes actually scary instead of performative, I feel like it wouldn't have fit as well with the circus vibe. So I do actually like that.
Just so condescending on my part. But I am struggling to explain why I just feel so detached. This just keeps me from engaging with the story on its level and what it's trying to do. But I think part of my unseriousness is that within
or this scene, right? Order now, the wacky watch, right? It's an ad because you're watching a show here. This man, Cain, he's just performing.
This pilot, I struggle to have any sense of danger. There's fun slapstick to it, but I kind of...
I didn't really see sense of danger either. It's more like the sense of the inevitable. I think the fear was the inevitable.
Struggled to register any of this as
at some point, this person's mind will break.
Threat. As in the moment, but especially in hindsight, the story just keeps taking me out of it and just showing there's not much threat here. And that just leaves the lukewarm comedy, as you realize that the only real danger for these characters is the abstraction, as giving up and going insane.
Yeah.
The abstraction beat the hell out of Rackety, but despite a royal ass whooping and glitching out, which does seem painful, but it's kinda unclear if the abstraction can actually kill them. As
I don't know, but I think the abstraction will make their mind break faster.
we never see an abstraction destroy an NPC or glitch out something to an unrecognizable state or
No, why would they do Glord Queen like that? Glord Queen, no!
absorb it into itself. Instead, it just looks like it hurts. Cain can snap his fingers and fix them physically. So really, this brings back the focus on the character's mental state.
I love that. I love that. If there was a fear of physical well-being, then at least their actions have purpose. See, I think that plays even further into the existential nightmare of it all. I'll be honest, I like that aspect of it. When I saw that Cain was just able to like snap his fingers and Ragatha goes back to being normal, it really set in stone the futility of everyone's actions. You know? Like, imagine living through life where you don't have any fears, you don't have any dreams, you don't have any hopes, you don't have any accomplishments. You can't even try to survive. There's no trying to survive. You will survive. You will survive indefinitely until you break. I think that makes it even scarier. That makes the fear of going mad even realer. It makes the futility of all your actions even crazier. I don't think death builds the stakes here. I think it's the mystery and the inevitability of your eventual demise build the stake. It's the curse of immortality all over again, where the fear is going insane, not dying.
That the only way for these characters to go is for their minds to break, to give up, and for them to forget who they are as they lose all sense of themselves, devolving into these frustrating monstrosities that can only lash out. So unless that aspect is dug more into, and we watch someone start to slip,
it will. Like, let's be real, it will.
And for it not to be done with a wink, the threat isn't there to actually get me to care. I like the character.
I do get what he's saying, though. But it is a pilot. Like, I hear you, but it is a pilot.
Characters, but it's so early I don't actually care if any of them die. And the glowing bee plot kinda sucks. It represents the lamest—
Yeah, the glowing bee plot does suck, unless you realize that the glowing bee plot is just a trivial task that they have to do every single day. That today I'm gonna have to defeat Gloinks, and then tomorrow I'm gonna have to defeat Ploinks, and then just to keep me busy, I'm just gonna start another Mr. Beast video day after day after day.
Adventures Kane will make them do, and how they are literal time killers. But this B plot exists solely to provide a cutaway for Pomni's story, and it never feels like that's not the case. And all this just has this combined knock-on effect of making it hard for me to actually care whenever it tries to unsettle me. It's more cute that it's trying than anything else. Maybe I'm just existentialism poisoned, as so many shows are making it a major theme right now. It'll probably hit better if—
Don't say that. Don't say that. No. Amazing Digital Circus is so different.
you're new to these types of shows. But my takeaway is that while I appreciate what it's doing and how it's doing it, I can never shake the sense of performativeness, that it's trying too hard, and the whiplash between dark comedy and this situation left me sitting on the sidelines rather than being engrossed in what's happening. So if
I mean, I guess it's just a personal take.
I don't find it uproariously funny, and the psychological horror is just then all I have left is the intrigue of what's gonna happen to these characters, and the associated nightmare feel that comes along with it, which I'm unsure of how much they're actually gonna delve into these characters, and which part of them is just gonna be chalked up to a joke. It's really just all possible.
I'm certain they'll get into these characters. They spent so much time creating them, you know? Like, these, not just on a character design level, but also the way they fit in so nicely with the fear of this world. I mean, some of them are probably gonna die or abstract
Abilities at this point, so for better and for worse, the story just has little to offer me at this point. But now to move on to something less controversial, I hate looking at the tent. This pre-K McPlay Place oversaturated visual vomit kinda drives me insane. Like, they really did a good job designing this place.
I love the visual vomit. It's so good. I love just how dude, it looks like kids' YouTube. It looks like Cocomelon videos, right? It's just pure, sheer, and utter entertainment for the sake of entertainment, for the sake of killing time.
It's that perfect I Spy kid show environment that's meant to look friendly, but only makes you feel crazier sitting there. But for me, the problem comes from the fact that I find it really distracting half the time. There's so much going on in this background. There's so many colors, so many things going different ways. I feel like the show half the time doesn't do enough to bring focus back to what I'm supposed to be looking at. My uneducated guess is that the lack of detail in intentionally bright colors make it so that the soft blur that they do to delineate what's in the foreground and the background doesn't do enough. As instead, it kind of still looks like it's in focus.
Dude, I love that they're doing that though. Bro, it looks so good. I love that they are just... You realize that this scene makes Jax and Pomni just these infinitesimally small, useless parts of a useless world.
Even when it's actually not. Meaning that all these wide shots feel like that they have way too much going on, which is something I can also say about Kane's design.
Move this man!
No! Kill him! Sorry, don't actually kill him, but dox him! No, don't dox him. Don't dox him. You'll get a slap on the wrist, because YouTube's very consistent with how they enforce policies. They'll never, like, actually, you know, punish one person, then punish another person more because that other person makes them less money. They would never do that. But don't do it anyway.
Okay, now the real hill I'm about to die on, for basically no reason. But for as fun as the eyes and the mouth look is, I often found it more distracting than anything else.
What?
Yeah, some real artistry went into making these teeth emote. Yeah, put it all in the comments. I won't read any of them.
Bro is so based. Dude got so... Can I just say that I have so much... This man knew he was gonna get shit on for this video, and he went ahead and made it anyway. Look, I may disagree with all of your opinions, but I respect the hell out of the massive balls you have for dropping this video.
But for me, years of masking has set me up to make just way too much eye contact. So when Kane's on screen, I always feel like I have to be focusing on the eyes. But since he's talking most of the time, and yeah, he is probably, like, he's not my least favorite character, I do feel like
What? How could you say that, bro? What, dude? I love Kane's character. The dentures with the top hat? What?
is the one whose comedy and just bit misses the most for me.
It. Dude, when I watched, you could look at my reaction. I did not laugh at the Kane jokes because the Kane jokes are so terrifying. You have this Eldritchian monster. This man, he is the Mr. Beast in this world, okay? And he, while all these people's minds are shattering, he is trying to turn it into entertainment. That is so scary. I love Kane's character.
Half of that is intentional, but he is the one character I'm like, okay, this is more cringe than cute. But when he's...
It wasn't cringe nor cute. It was the disassociation of the entertainment that Kane was trying to produce with the mindset of the people around him.
Talking most of the time, and I'm staring at those eyes. What I'm focusing on is interrupted by his teeth moving around and just...
Oh, come on, man. How is that even criticism? What? This is just such cool character design, huh? Dude, Gojo's gonna walk on screen with the freaking blindfold and be like, oh, I can't even look at this fucker. Man doesn't even have eyes. How am I gonna fucking dog him?
Getting in the way of my point of focus. So I pull back to watch the teeth actually say the thing, only for that to lead me to drift back towards the eyes again, and rinse and repeat. I feel like I never know what I'm supposed to be looking at with this guy.
Isn't that good though? Like, imagine a character that is so like above and beyond your realm of reference here that you don't even know what to be looking at when you're looking at this character. Isn't that good character design in a way?
Than the nebulous everything. Kane feels like he was a really fun character to animate, but this eye mouth situation is my personal hell, and it feels a little bit like I'm watching anime with subtitles.
Man's hating on watching anime with subtitles? Oh, are you hating on just, you know, the best way to watch anime? No, no.
We're at a point I'm not really watching what's going on, but I am, but I'm not. Since my focus is...
Wait, I just used Jujutsu Kaisen as an example.
Constantly being split. This is a me thing, sue me. So overall, this pilot, while promising, it just didn't hook me. I think it's adorable, and you can tell a lot of effort by a lot of talented people went into making it, but to me, it's just fine. Cute enough, chuckled maybe once every 5 minutes.
The way I see, whenever I watch a pilot, I always am viewing it through the lens of this is a pilot, right? So I loved it. I thought it was great, not because of what it is as a standalone episode, because of what it represents as the beginning of potentially a fantastic series. So while you're right, if this would be a standalone episode, I would also say it was fine. But as a pilot of a series, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was fantastic. And people hating on it on social media just because it's popular, you guys suck and need to stop being so jealous.
Would watch a full season, but I'm not holding my breath for it. And if you liked it, there's something wrong with you. But no,
what?
Seriously.
What?
I'm really happy that people are loving this pilot more than I am, as really that's more important than my personal enjoyment. And to be honest, I rarely go out to convince anyone of anything when I make my YouTube videos. As to me, the internet is a hellscape where no one has ever been convinced of anything via comments.
He's so right. He's so right. I don't know anyone that's ever convinced anyone of anything on the internet. You have your opinion before watching something, and now you're just gonna watch people either disagreeing or agreeing, and your opinion will not change. He's right. Man's spitting.
If your mind was changed, kind of likely you were already looking for this opinion.
Yeah, my mind wasn't changed. No offense. But I'm appreciative that you had the balls to make this take, honestly. Like, I'm nothing but respect for you.
Or Oreo's feeding into your preconceived biases. So when I do videos, it's just me giving my thoughts and experience, not some objective manifesto. I think, despite what this kind of rubs me the wrong way about this thing, I do think that the pilot is good. I just didn't connect with it, as when I see it, I'm just reminded by a smattering of other things that I like more, in a plot that I've never been in love with, as there's always like 3 answers.
Wait. No. he's not comparing. He's not comparing Digital Circus to Spy Kids 3 and Sword Art Online, right? Right? That didn't just happen. I didn't just see that. That didn't just happen.
The big overarching mystery. While I'm only passively curious about what's gonna happen next, other people are loving the fuck out of this
I
thing.
am.
They're hooked by the idea of what this place is and what will happen next. That every joke that I shrugged at busted their guts. This thing—
No, I don't think it busted my guts, but that's the point. This is the point. It is a comedy, but the comedy is like of the character. Like Jax, for example. Jax is funny as fuck. Man is really hilarious, okay? I laughed a lot when Jax made jokes because Jax isn't a performer, right? He is forced into this hellscape. Whenever Kane made a joke, it just made me feel uneasy, right? Because Kane making jokes, he's obviously trying to perform to some degree, but man, scary. It's scary that he's making these jokes.
Thing was so popular that it pretty much buried the Hasman Hotel's trailer, just conversation-wise, the weekend it came out. Which is proof that the amazing Digital Circus is the new hotness. But it's just alright to me. But I'm pretty confident that Gooseworks is cooking, and the show will win me over if and when it keeps going.
Bro was on an escalator, and someone started talking to him, and he said, "Quiet! I can't hear the escalator." Ladies and gentlemen, if that is not peak comedy, I don't know what is.
My half-curious questions being turned into actual investment and intrigue to the greater mysteries of the show, or just entertainment at watching all these yahoos get tortured. I think it deserves that.
Oh, it's for me, it's the yahoos getting tortured. Like, I am interested in what happens in the show, don't get me wrong, but for me, the psychological breakage of these characters is really what pulled me in.
That much. And while I'm not gaga for it, I do think I understand why so many people fell in love with it. Just wasn't for me.
Glowing Queen is so hot.
Chorus. You know, I think most people probably already commented because no one finishes the video to comment.
Hey! I finished the video! Mostly.
But tell me what you all thought about the amazing Digital Circus down below. Let me know your thoughts, who you like the most, and tell me, what is the biggest thing that you're curious about the show moving forward? As to me, we got a little bit too clean of an ending for this one. This could have been a short film. What do you want the big overarching mystery of the show to be?
The overarching mystery is, how will Twitter cancel me for this reaction? I should probably say something controversial first, so before we finish this, so that Twitter could keep up their trend of canceling me for everything I make that's amazing Digital Circus related. All right. I thought of a joke. Here, I'll tell you a joke. We'll wrap up the video with this joke. All right. Women! Oh man, yeah, that was a bit of a controversial joke. That was a controversial joke. I'm not even gonna lie. That was a bit controversial to, like, it was the delivery wasn't the best, but it was a good joke.
Do you want this to be a show about them escaping the place, or do you want it to be more psychological and watch these characters heal and kind of accept where they're at?
That joke was funny because it was true. I'm just reminding you. Thank you for making this video, Mr. Chorus. I thought it was a video of all time, even. And I think I urge all of you to go to Sarcastic Chorus and check him out. Because the man makes good reviews. And man's not afraid to say what he actually says. And I respect someone who says what he wants to say much more than someone who just parrots out and vomits out the popular opinion. Even though I disagree with almost everything he said in this video. even though I disagree with almost everything he said in this video. Oh, that was wholesome. I'm sure that I'm not going to get in trouble. I freaking love it. Stay away, fam.